Tastes like a grapefruit.
Good orange.
Oh,
It's orange.
it's good.
Oh, that's what you guys think, because your mom doesn't let you have sugar. The old Records to Checkers project was to do this as cheap as possible. And I was optimistic when we started it, but man, on a next-gen bike, there's no way not to spend a shit ton of money to race super sport these days. It's just not. It's not possible. And man, we're frugal. But now, like, the bike's good, man.
For me, working with this bike, digging in with this project, getting a lot of ownership into the advancements, the improvements that we're making with the bike. It's been a struggle. We've been still battling against this stiff competition that we have out there in this class. But slowly, seems like every time we go out, every session, every racetrack we go to, we're making improvements. We just got to keep digging in, keep doing what we can do. I'm doing the best that I can to do my part. I know that Brian's doing the best he can to improve his riding, adapt his style, what this bike needs. And slowly we're getting there, we're making the improvements. It's just been really a struggle against the fast competition that's out there in this class.
We were 4/10 out. I went a second faster from practice to qualifying one. We were still 4/10 out. Thank you, Stefano Mesa, for throwing down a hammer.
Coming into this weekend, we made some little bit of changes to the bike, changed the rear suspension a little bit. Didn't really touch the front too much, but slight tweak up there. Trying to get him going off on the right foot here. Pre-practice one and qualifying one went okay. He said the bike felt good. He really looked pretty decent in the morning, pre-practice one. His times were respectable. He was actually faster than I expected him to go. Qualifying one came around, and just like what's been the theme over the last, over a year now, is the fast guys are just fast. They keep getting faster, and we were making incremental improvements, and it just wasn't quite enough. We didn't quite get into the qualifying limit at the end of Q1, but I think after the first day here at MotoAmerica, we understand now what we need to do with the bike, the changes that we need to make. Luckily, the bike doesn't need big changes. Brian likes the bike, he feels good. We just need to go back, sharpen our pencil, understand where we're losing the time against our competition, figure out what we can do to clean that up, make the improvements for Q2 Saturday morning.
You just tell me when.
So I want you to sit up, and I want you to go, "Where you at?" And then just talk about, go into like the work we've done so far from practice to qualifying, and then to, this qualifying. And
Okay.
you're ready.
Back right now?
Yeah.
What if I don't raise up with such enthusiasm?
Well, you don't have to, because we made it.
We made it. We made it.
We're done with qualifying too. Saturday morning, it was a nail biter, and Brian went out and he made it happen. He did everything he needed to do to get there. He went a lot faster. He went a second faster than he did yesterday. So that's good. So we got there, we got qualified, so we've got a grid position. That's the great news. Bad news is maybe you can see behind us, the rain's falling. So for race 1 here this afternoon, it's gonna be wet.
We went over a bunch of data last night, and we could overlay where I sucked and where I was good.
We finally got the puzzle pieces together to get our data logging system up and running. The spec ECU electronics that we have to run has that ability. We need an add-on logger to actually save the data. We've got that now for the first time, so this is something that I've used in the past, found it to be very helpful, and it's been very helpful this time as well.
Kevin Horney, the only other guy on the Triumph, was kind enough to let us use his data as well, and I overlaid, well, Jamie and Mark Young overlaid my data with his data to see exactly where he was faster. And it was just very marginal locations on the track, but all throughout the track.
It allows us to look in at a detailed examination of what's going on turn by turn, seeing where he's hitting the brakes, seeing where he's getting on the gas, seeing how much speed he's running through the different corners, understanding when we look at a summary of a session, the fastest lap versus the slowest lap, where did he make up that time? How did he get that fastest lap? And what can we do to kind of build on that and help? I think mostly it's really helping Brian to understand his riding.
We made a bunch of changes. We changed gearing. I say we. It's Travis and Mike and Josh and Jamie, Will, and thanks, buddy.
Life did.
And so I went out, I couldn't get a tow. I think our warmers aren't quite sufficient. It's not quite as warm as we would like. Some bike slides around the first lap. And dropped like half a second. And I was in at that point. I made it in the show by 1/10. Came in for a minute or a couple of minutes and kind of regrouped, talked with the guys about how I was feeling and everything. We didn't make any changes, stretched a little bit, went back out, and dropped another, I think, 6/10. So overall, we dropped a second and a 10th, I believe, from qualifying yesterday. So now we're in by maybe 3/10 of a second. And my fastest lap, I was all by myself. So I'm hoping in the race I'll get a tow, utilize some of the data that we were able to grasp from the bike and help implement. I'm not a development rider by any sense. It's the first time I've used any sort of data. Really the first time I've been at any sort of coaching or seen what anybody else was doing. I just race old school, man. And but the tools are very helpful. They cost a bunch of money.
He's really been used to just going out there and just kind of giving it his all. And in the end, okay, he did the best that he could. Well, now with the competition we've got in the super sport class in MotoAmerica, you've really got to step your game up. And so this is now giving Brian an opportunity to look at the data, examine in detail, okay, here's what you're doing. Here's when you're picking up the throttle. Here's when you're grabbing the brake. Here's how much brake you're using. And it's something that he's never had an opportunity to look at before. And he's like a sponge. He's taking it all in. He's been applying it to each session, and he's making big improvements each time he goes out. He's doing a great job of taking the understanding of, okay, we need to roll through this corner faster. We need to carry more mid-corner speed. In understanding that, he's applying that, and the next session out, he's actually doing it. You can see in the data that he's making the improvements.
Really, that's what helped us out today, the gearing and being able to look at data while we're in this show. Can't tell you how fucking excited I am about that. You would have think we won the race when I came in for my cool down lap. So we're in, but I think it's gonna rain.
All right, we're about to go out to race 1. It's in the rain. How you feeling?
Wet. feeling wet.
So a wet race poses its own set of challenges. It's a little bit different. Tires are different. You know, we've got the bike ready. We do have to make some changes to the bike. Because you've got wet track, you don't have as much grip, so that means you're not generating as much load into the chassis, so you've got to make some changes with the spring race, with the preloads and things. But Brian still wants a bike that feels good. He needs a bike that he can race with, but it's different ambient conditions.
Difference between riding in the rain and the dry. It's amazing how fast you can go in the rain. I think most guys can probably run 80% in the rain. It's fucking crazy. I'm not gonna do that. I've got another race tomorrow. What really sucks, I guess, you just have to be really smooth. I'm smooth on the throttle and smooth on the brakes, sometimes to my detriment. So I'm not too worried about that. Just when it's raining, you can't be really abrupt. You can't jam the brakes. You can't slam the throttle. You just want to be real smooth. Otherwise, you know, we soften up the suspension on the bike a little bit, took away some engine braking so that when I go into a turn, the back end's not sliding around.
Brian's a decent wet rider, so I think this is going to be okay. I mean, wet races are wet races. We all kind of know how this works.
And then vision, honestly, you're getting water droplets all over, and you kind of got to turn your head a little bit going down the straightaway so it doesn't just pack in.
The weather's looking really good for tomorrow, so I think we're just kind of happy that we made the grid. You know, that task has now been accomplished, so I think we've all breathed a sigh of relief there. We're gonna go ahead and get wet here this afternoon. We're gonna have a smile on our face because we know we're in the race.
And you're wet, it's cold, uncomfortable.
And we're gonna dry up tonight, and tomorrow's looking beautiful, and I think we're already kind of looking ahead at what are we gonna do to make improvements to go out and battle in race 2 Sunday.
We survived the familiarization laps, 3 of them.
Are you familiarized now? How familiar are you?
Well, I know I didn't crash. That's what's, that's good.
And the race is underway. And unfortunately, your pole sitter is looking on as we head down into turn number 1. And it's going to be the 70 Vision Wheel and Forex Star Suzuki.
Slotting into 4th place behind Ty Scott as they come down this front straightaway. So it looks like
that's 23,
but
it's hard to tell.
That's going to be last corner.
It's not going to be 23 because 23 obviously in this class is Corey Alexander.
Yeah.
See what happened here.
Oh yeah, down the track. You can already see the bike sliding down the track. So probably kind of got high-sided off that last corner there, and all the riders behind it. We got yeah, it's a red flag right now.
There's a bike, dude, there's a Hanos Ducati that went down in the sighting lap. And he's still there.
Oh,
like
he's
left his bike and he's walking up through the sand.
He just flipped it off and said, I'm out here?
He leaned it up against the wall, and then right now there's an R6 in the middle of the track.
That would have happened right in front of you. He was like 4 or 5 spots ahead of you.
I'm so wet.
I don't think you're allowed.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how wet are you?
I don't think you're allowed to refuel.
I think my butthole is wet. Pretty wet.
I think
79. So 6 laps to go in this one. We're underway, and now it's the long downhill run to turn number 1.
We finished. Didn't crash. Legitimately beat a couple people, and then beat everyone that fell down. Except for the guy that fell down, got up and passed me. He was going real fast. We still don't know where I finished. 23rd, maybe. I think at one point I was up to 20th. I'm happy with that. We finished the race. The whole goal was to just finish, and we finished. I went faster every lap. If I would have had the comfort that I had at the end of the race, we could have done a lot better. I was clicking off times the last, 3 or 4 laps, so we're 3 or 4 seconds faster than the 4 guys in front of me. But, live and learn. This is the first rain race I've had in probably 5 years. I've raced in the rain in endurance, but it was always on slicks, so there's no trust in the tire. And rain tires are crazy.
How are we feeling going in tomorrow?
Feeling pretty good. I feel good. Physically, I feel good. We made the grid, that's half the battle. And finished, I'm happy with how we finished today. And tomorrow we'll just do better. We got a set of tires. Tommy Halverson and the Collison and the Basham crew have purchased a set of tires for us. And Mike and Mary, who Mike is running around here wrenching for us. So we got tires covered because people are really nice. And we'll do better tomorrow.
Good morning, wreckers to checkers. We are live at MotoAmerica at Road America. It is Sunday. We've had a great weekend so far. Tuna made the show. He finished 20th in the first race. It was in the wet, so he's in the money for race 1. It's a little foggy this morning, but it's burning off, which is very nice. We have an hour or so before the warm-up, so we'll see how everything goes, and hopefully we will see the checkered flag today.
Sunday, we survived Saturday, and I say that because, it's nerve-wracking getting through Q2. As you guys note on the previous videos, we had a tough Friday. We weren't there, but yesterday morning we pulled it together. Brian was able to lay down some fast laps at the end of qualifying, got himself qualified, got into the race. Wet race, those are always a struggle, but I think it actually played into our hand. Brian got 20th, which is a fantastic result for him. I know he's really happy about that. The only downside of that is really a wet race doesn't really help us. It doesn't give us any data, any more information for today, because today's gonna be dry, sun's out, it's gonna be a beautiful day, mid-70s, perfect conditions for racing. So we've got to try to step it up. So the plan for today, we got a 15-minute warm-up, not a lot of time, but give us an opportunity to try something. So that's what we're gonna do. We've got a couple of quick changes to the bike that we're gonna try out. Hopefully they show some advantages and we'll apply those for race 2. If not, we've still got our baseline from yesterday morning that we can use. So we wanna try to finish this weekend strong here at race 2 this afternoon.
How are we feeling after warm-up today?
Feel warm. I'm warmed up. Warmed up. That was the whole point, just to go back out in the dry, make sure that it could still ride a motorcycle. Yeah, the bike felt good. No complaints really. We have a new front on. I didn't match my times from yesterday in qualifying, but that's to be expected. It was, like I said, it was just a warm-up. I was trying to clear up some lines, but I wasn't trying to go faster. So the bike feels good. They made gearing changes, more gearing changes than they thought they did, and that improved some of the bike's ability to get out of the corner. And now I'm like, it's kind of weird because now I'm kind of in between dropping 2 gears or dropping 1 gear type of thing, and the bike feels good. Bike feels good. For whatever reason, maybe because of the rain, there's a lot of bikes having electronic issues. Seems like all of them are the next-gen bikes. Throttle body issues, ECU issues. In the race yesterday, my quick shifter didn't work. I think that's a mapping thing, not necessarily like a hardware failure. But there's a lot of bikes having issues with electronics. We haven't, thank God. I don't have any wood to knock on. But no, I think it's just to go out, improve the lines, work on the new shift points, and just try to go a little faster.
I will be your shield in the fiercest battle out of
keep you from danger. Let me be your shield.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you, me, and the odds. We stuck together with 2 peas in a pod. You got the bad hand, I'm there seizing the cards. Whenever we separate till we seeing the gods. We can blow together, high forever, long as we go together.
Got a pretty damn good start, and I moved up 7 or 8 spots or so, and then one of the Altus bikes, I believe, blew an engine, oiled the track, so the red flagged it, pulled us in. Then did a complete restart, and I think 2 or 3 laps in, a couple bikes got together about 2/3 of the way before Canada Corner down that straightaway, really fast, probably bottom of 6th gear or something. And I saw them get together. There were about 4 or 5 bikes ahead of me, and the one bike went right into the wall, went airborne, shit went everywhere. The track was littered with bike parts, and we're dodging bike parts, and then the dude comes spinning them back onto the track. And they red flagged it again, and then put us to the end of the day. Our final start. It was 7-lap race. 7-lap race, and that was at 4:30, I believe. So then, so that restart for the first restart, another awesome start. It was up pretty far, 8 or 9 bikes. It was feeling really good. Went over a second faster than I've ever gone here, and I think ran a 26.1 and was running, high 26s, pretty consistent there. And then restarted the race the final time here at the end of the day, and kind of got a crappy start. Got down like 27 flats, running really low 27s consistently, and just didn't do as good as I did earlier. And still pretty happy with how things went. Yesterday I finished 20th, today 25th. I think there were 40 bikes registered, 35 showed up. But it felt pretty good. I was happy. The bike is probably the best it's ever been. I was riding what I considered pretty good for myself. And bike's still in one piece. We didn't crash it, we didn't blow it up, we didn't have too many issues, so we're ready to go again here in a few weeks. We will see you at the next one.
Well, what are you doing?
Getting ready.
If you shot, well, here's the thing: if you shotgun it the right way, you're supposed to poke a hole in it. Or are we just chugging?
I was gonna chug.
Is to move
whatever.
that
What?
further in here and get the clamp. You go there to get something to really grip on. So, Jamie did good there.
So cold.
He slotted the correct
Too cold.
piece, but there's
Oh, a little bit left.
I have a slot.
1 minute, opening, 1 minute.
Doing it for the team.
That was good, guys.
I was getting brain freeze. It was
It was very cold.